All right, guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for one of two live reviews I am doing tonight back to back. We're going to start off first with my live review of this week's episode of 205 Live. I do apologize again, this review is coming a little bit late. I know I said it for 9 o'clock, but it's just been a crazy day. I've had some stuff I had to take care of. So I was going to do it actually before I watch NXT this review, but then I'm like, it's on live anyway, so I just watched it now and before I did both reviews. So again, sorry, it's been a crazy day. Just had a lot to get done, a lot to accomplish. But let's start with the 205 live review first, and then coming up next afterwards, we'll do the NXT live review as well. So please stay tuned for both reviews come this channel. This week's episode 205 live was all right. Again, like SmackDown, SmackDown was all right this week. It was good and acceptable, but it wasn't like, as great as it's been, but it's still good. This episode wasn't bad. It was a solid episode, I thought. It wasn't, great or anything, but it was a good episode. Just, maybe wrap up the feud. I'm not sure if it did, because I had to rewatch 205 Live because I actually did doze off and fall asleep during it, so I had to rewatch just to get the gist of the beginning part of it. But it wasn't too bad. I don't have too much to say about 205 Live. Let's get started. Of course, checking out the live chat. See what we got here. We got Dakota in the live chat. He says, "What if the winds of change means that Dean Ambrose returns and costs Reigns the match at Money in the Bank?" I don't know if he would go after Reigns or if he would go after Rollins. I see him going after Rollins when he comes back. So what if he costed Rollins the match instead, maybe? And what are you going to do if neither Styles or Nakamura beat the 10 count? I'd hate to see how the crowd reacts. Yeah, there has to be a decisive winner this time. I feel it has to happen. If you want to have a decisive winner here, if you want to have Nakamura win the title here, and then do like a triple threat or something like that, like a match with Samoa Joe, Styles, and Nakamura at Extreme Rules, then Cole, and then do a match at SummerSlam, the blow off the feud between Nakamura and Styles, then cool. That's how I want to finish out the feud. I'm cool with that, but there has to be a decisive winner. Honestly, I'd say at this point, just put the title on Nakamura at Money in the Bank. I'd say, but I'll get into that on another day. He also said, or what if the winds are changing means Punk returns and costs Reigns? Will be cool. Again, I'm not getting my hopes up at all. Punk is returning. At least Ricochet isn't injured. Also, it's an injury scare that would have sucked. Yeah, I saw your message on Instagram. That definitely would have sucked if Ricochet would have gotten hurt, but thank goodness he didn't. Also, did you know in TNA that Matt Sydal is Evan Bourne? I never knew that. I know Evan Bourne is, but I didn't even know he was in TNA. Rumors are going around that this isn't the last match for Ciampa and Gargano. I think it should be the end where it all started. Also, there are rumors that Shayna Baszler is losing the title because they aren't pleased with how she does on the mic, where she's lackluster. Really? I actually thought Shayna Baszler was fine on the microphone. It wasn't great, but I thought she always gets her point across very well. But I am very surprised that I hope she doesn't lose the title. I still want it to be Dakota Kai being the one to dethrone Shayna Baszler at later on this year. I'll talk about that, of course, a little bit more in my NXT review after this. But thank you for your stuff in the live chat, Dakota. Let's talk about 205 Live, though. Here, get on track on the ball here. We opened up. Of course, we had a recap last week of what was been happening recently. Lost my page here. Drake Maverick. Of what happened in the main event between Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy when Hideo Itami came out and attacked from preventing a finish. They showed that kind of tactic is only not going to earn you a title opportunity, but flat out won't be tolerated under Maverick's leadership. So for tonight's show, he banned Itami from appearing on tonight's show. So Itami was not there tonight. Ali, though, agreed to return to the ring to face Buddy Murphy, a training partner, Tony Nese, in a match. Which was going to be our main event. We did, of course, going to be having, though, this 6-man tag match that we had. It was a 6-man tag match between the Lucha House Party, Kalisto, Lindsay Dorado, and Graham Anthony, taking on a team of the Brian Kendrick, Jack Gallagher, and Drew Gulak. Before the match started, though, the Lucha House Party brought out a pinata of calling it the Lucha House Party's new mascot, and they called it Penelope Gulak. Penelope Gulak. It was a pinata with Drew Gulak's head on it, and they walked it out. it was goofy, but it kind of works. I mean, this feud again has not really been setting the ball on fire for me, honestly. I mean, it's just been just a feud, probably just build up these 6 competitors strong and stronger. Definitely, I've enjoyed the pairing of the Lucha House Party, making them feel important, especially for a while. Grand Metalik was not being really used well at all, and then Lindsay Dorado I didn't really think was much of anything, but I've been impressed with the work I've seen since Triple H took over, and Kalisto also has done well. I've been praising Drew Gulak. Still trying to warm up though with a team with Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher. I feel like they do have potential, but they haven't quite shown it to me yet. But the match happened. The match, wasn't too bad. They had some great back and forth action going there. Early in the match, we had Lucha House Party taking on everything overall. Dorado onto all 3 of their opponents on the floor. Gulak eventually powers Kalisto into the heels corner with the numbers game allowing them to put him in peril. When Kalisto does get in the corner, Kendrick distracts the referee, so they miss the tag, and then Gallagher attacks Kalisto on the floor, and Gulak clears Metalik and Dorado, or as he called him, Dorito, off the apron with forearms. They eventually get into the corner by battling out the suplexes set to send Drew to the floor and hit a DDT on Kendrick. Metalik comes in on a hot tag, and they take Gallagher down a near fall, but then Gulak breaks up. Chaos follows, and then Gulak gets a hot tag with 2 handfuls of tights on a pin. Then Lindsay Dorado hits a double golden rewind on Jack and Drew, setting them up on the outside for stereo dives by Metalik and Kalisto. Kendrick made the most of things, however, locking in the captain's hook, but then Lindsay Dorado hangs in there. He gets to the finish when Brian readjusts to keep him away from the ropes, grabbing the tights and securing the win with a roll-up pinfall on Kendrick. So, I mean, I don't know if this is going to, be it for this feud, move these guys on to something else, because they're teasing, building for some type of matches, Drew Gulak's been basically, just targeting the Lucha House Party for not being what, he wants to, what he sees 205 Live being as it continues. So I don't know if this is going to, continue on, or if this is it and going to move the Lucha House Party onto something else. I definitely think, especially guys, someone like, Grand Metalik, I think eventually just deserves a Cruiserweight Championship opportunity. Kalisto and Lindsay Dorado, maybe also Kalisto. Yeah, Lindsay Dorado still a little bit of ways away, but, Gulak definitely, I think, should be in running for the Cruiserweight Championship at some point. But yeah, not too bad though, a match though, of a 6-man tag match. And then we had Hideo Itami having a selfie promo demanding respect from Ali and Murphy. Maverick is watching this on his phone when Murphy barges in demanding a shot at Itami, and then Maverick says that Ali has asked for the same thing. Neither are getting it because emotions are running too high. He can't have another main event risk being ruined. He also gives Buddy Murphy some advice. Come to your boss with a request, not an ultimatum. Then Mustafa Ali having a selfie promo in the locker room. He acknowledges a setback last week, what it was, but when that happens, they get right back up. So that's what he's going to do tonight, and he hopes Buddy and Hideo are watching, pretty much. Then we had pretty much just a squash match. It was Akira Tozawa taking on a jobber named Steve Irby. It was just a quick squash match. Tozawa won following a pinfall of the back senton. He had pretty much, I still miss that snap German suplex he used to do. That I love that finisher he used to do. So I don't know if again this is where they're going to go with Tozawa from here, because they had him with Hideo Itami for a while in a tag team, and then they split them up to go full on fledged heel with Itami. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to do there. I mean, he's had decent booking. I mean, the feud he had with Neville last year for the Cruiserweight Championship was all right, but I still found it random how they just put the title on him for 6 days and just dropped it back to Neville. So I thought it was kind of stupid. But that's what we pretty much had. We had another promo, coming soon promo for Leo Rush. Feels disrespected. WWE had 2 Cruiserweight tournaments without the best Cruiserweight in the world. It's the right time, the right place, and he is the right man. So Leo Rush, again, is coming soon. Don't know when he's going to appear. We have Tony Nese in the locker room saying he knows that Ali thinks he's working his way back to another title shot, but tonight is all about him making his mark, which, is, some I wouldn't mind seeing. Is, I do think Tony Nese, even after, Triple H will go over, Tony still needs to try to find his track also to get on too. He briefly turned face, as I said before, and then they turned back being a heel again. He just, he's definitely an underrated talent that deserves, opportunity. So I thought what he got tonight was definitely a good start to it. So yeah, he's back being a heel. Then we have TJP having a selfie promo in front of a brick wall, saying he's not surprised that the 205 Live doesn't have him on the show. He's going to keep hitting the weights and racking up Instagram lights. And when he goes heavyweight, Drake Maverick's going to remember him not as the man who carried the division on his back, but the one who got away. So is TJP, or there's one called TJ Perkins, going to eventually leave 205 Live and go, to one of the other brands, which, I wouldn't mind seeing happen, to show that, you don't have to be limited to just the cruiserweight division if you're just in the cruiserweight division. So hopefully, some of these guys like, Alexander or even Ali or Buddy Murphy or even TJP and a few others, get shots outside of the cruiserweight division besides being that. Because I'm pretty sure that will not cause as much, people to be unhappy if they just limit him to that. But that was good promo there by TJP. So then we had Tony Nese coming out. He was cutting the usual promo. He comes out whenever he is before a match, like, was bragging about his 8 abs and whatnot. And then he also brought out Buddy Murphy. And then, they get into the ring and they surround Mustafa Ali. So then Ali's buddy, Cedric Alexander, the cruiserweight champion, comes out, and he makes his way to the ring. And then Murphy and Alexander are told to, get out of the ring and we can start the match. So we had the match with Mustafa Ali and Tony Nese. Ali and Murphy stay up on the ramp, and Murphy tries to get involved early, but Nese grabs Mustafa Ali from behind and throws him into the ring post. Then Tony's taking control of the action, and there are several other near falls on Ali, including a painful-looking bump with when he lands on his feet, and he landed on his back also to really sell, a back injury throughout the match as well. And then, of course, there came a point during the match where Buddy Murphy was trying to get involved in the match, and so was Cedric Alexander. And then the referee threatened to kick them out, though, if they did not behave themselves. But then, again, Tony got some good action there, but Ali was the one who came out on top. He hit a vicious-looking buckle bomb to gets 2 for Tony, but then Ali dodges the Nese again, and he hits a tornado DDT, and he climbs up and he hits the 054 to pick up the victory for Ali over Tony Nese. Again, a good effort by Tony Nese, but it was he still has a little bit of ways to go, I feel, to get be taken a little bit more seriously. But I definitely hope Tony Nese definitely gets some time in the spotlight also on 205 Live. I definitely think he's been like an overlooked talent as well. Hopefully get an opportunity someday at the Cruiserweight Championship. And then after the win, Mustafa Ali grabs the microphone and says that Drake Maverick said everyone would get what they want, and he knows that he, Murphy, and Itami want to tear each other's heads off. So next week, why not make a main event triple threat match between the 3 of them? And then we have the backstage. We have shown a shot of Drake Maverick watching, the promo, and then Dasha Fuentes comes rolling up, and Drake simply makes the match for next week. So next week in the main event, we will be getting a triple threat match. It will be Mustafa Ali, Buddy Murphy, and Hideo Itami in a triple threat match. I mean, may not be for a number one contendership, but I would not mind seeing if they would do. I would like to see them try to do this at Extreme Rules, a fatal 4-way between the Ali, Murphy, Itami, and Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championships. I still think the match that I want to see at SummerSlam, they give the Cruiserweight a match at SummerSlam, which will be on the main show, but it probably won't be. The match I want to see still is a match I originally months ago wanted to see at WrestleMania, which was Cedric Alexander versus Hideo Itami for the Cruiserweight Championship at SummerSlam. I think that could be a killer match. I think that's my next dream match. I think in the Cruiserweight division is a match between those 2 superstars as well. So we're getting that next week. Live chat. Let's see what we got here now. Jeff had Nakamura beat clean. What would you have done if Jeff pinned him clean 5 days before his match against Styles? wouldn't have been opposed, really. It was a good match. The Lucha House Party are entertaining. They are. Who won between Gallagher and Gulak? I did not catch that yet. Zawa gets up super high on that senton. He definitely does. And yes, I know Leo Rush is going to be a heel when he debuts. I'll do the tournament until he actually does debut. What's up, Wrestling Reviewer 809? Dakota also says, I bet next week's triple threat will be a number one contenders match in which Tommy wins. He could step for a triple threat. Alexander will lose the title to Leo Rush down the line, but he will be champ till at least October. I mean, if they Tommy doesn't have to win the title, but I just want to see the match between Alexander and Tommy. But I think I would be interested in seeing a fatal 4-way first between the four of them, and then the match with Alexander and Tommy, and then maybe at the next pay-per-view, I think it's Hell in a Cell. I think the September pay-per-view is we can do maybe do Rush and Alexander. Maybe we'll see what happens. But some good ideas there. That's pretty much it, guys, for the 205 Live review. Again, I'm going to do my NXT review immediately following this. So I have to get a quick drink of water. So I'll give this episode of 205 Live a B-. Solid show. Nothing really too special, but I thought we had solid action on last night's show. So what grade would you give 205 Live? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. And sure to always click by like and subscribe for more content to come to the channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirborne93. So stay tuned, guys. In about 5 minutes, I'll be back up here again for another live review this time talking about this week's episode of NXT. So telling guys, I'm checking out. I'll see you all in about 5 minutes. Peace out, everybody.